Right then, hello everybody, what is up, it's Eddie and welcome to a video here where we're going to be ranking Premier League sales, the most expensive Premier League sales, and see if it's worked out for the player or if it has not. I've got about 16, 17 players here at the moment. Let me know any in the comments that I maybe have forgotten or others that I maybe haven't ranked. So, first we're going to kick out with Virgil van Dijk. Honestly, one of the best signings, one of the best sales actually that's worked out massively in terms of Van Dijk's favour. Van Dijk, he's been incredible at Liverpool. Recently been a little bit off, but most likely, you know, through he signed, he won. I feel like he won second in the Ballon d'Or, almost actually won it. I believe he won Player of the Year, one of the best defenders in the Premier League. Honestly, it's massively worked out for him. Fofana, it's a bit of a difficult one to work out because he's done okay for Chelsea. I wouldn't say it's worked out. A little bit still early to say, so I'm going to put him in the 50-50 category. Obviously, he signed for Chelsea for a hell of a lot of money. I believe it was 70-odd million. So, yeah, I think a good deal there from Leicester's point of view. But Chelsea, still a little bit early to say. So, it's kind of harsh to put him in the not worked out category. Next one is obviously Richarlison to Spurs. It has not worked out. Spurs fans love him, and I can't blame them, you know, because he definitely does show his passion. He does love to wind up the opposition fans. He scored up. I don't think he's scored in the Premier League yet. I might be wrong. I don't think he has. If he has, it must be only the one or the two. It's not worked out for him, especially for the fee that's been reported to pay. I believe around about 70-odd million for Richarlison. Obviously, two Spurs from Everton. I feel like Everton probably do miss him. Everton actually spent a hell of a lot of money on Richarlison, so I can understand why they could be, you know, a little bit happy after selling him for a bonus, and he scored some crucial goals for Everton. But unfortunately, in terms of Spurs' point of view, hasn't really worked out. Next one is Aaron Wan-Bissaka, a very expensive transfer. I believe I then ranked him one of the most expensive English sales, along with Jack Grealish, who is in the shortlist as well, but we'll get into Grealish in a second. Wan-Bissaka, I would say it's been 50-50 for Wan-Bissaka. I think it's been more recently. When he first went to United, his first season, it was alright, yeah, you know, he was okay. Nicknamed one of the best one-on-one defenders in the Premier League. Most recently, he's played a lot more for Manchester United due to Diego Dalla with competition with him. But I think Wan-Bissaka is a really good right back. I think he's definitely slowly getting better. There has obviously been rumours for moved away from him. There's been rumours of him going to West Ham, back to Crystal Palace. You know, I've been linked to Everton on loan. But he's started getting a little bit more football at the moment for Manchester United. So I hope he does continue to do well. But at the moment, a little bit of a 50-50 transfer. I do think next season will be the defining season for him, whether he will go out into the worked out or the not worked out. Next one is Riyad Mahrez. I'm going to put in the worked out category just purely because he's obviously been more successful. Obviously, he did win the Premier League with Leicester City, one of the most sensational stories in football history. No, the most sensational story in football history. But obviously at Man City, he's had a lot more success. Obviously winning multiple, you know, Premier League titles, FA Cup, you know, Champions League games, a lot more consistently. However, he isn't necessarily always a consistent starter for Manchester City, competing with the likes of Phil Foden and Jack Grealish and obviously at the time Ferran Torres, and obviously you've got Jesus when he was at Man City. So he's always had a lot of competition to fight for, but I feel like every time he started or going into the team, he's always done well, scored a load of goals for Manchester City and still shows his quality. So I think the transfer has definitely worked out for him. Next one is John Stones from Everton to Man City. Transfer has definitely worked out. A little bit 50-50 recently to start off with, and for some reason my webcam light has just decided to switch off. My apologies about that. Right, because I know the lighting in the back probably didn't help, but yeah. So yeah, John Stones, I think a transfer has definitely worked out for him. He really has excelled at Manchester City, especially recently. Definitely one of the best Pep Guardiola player transformations to play, as well as he has been in a bit more of a forward role. He's been incredible. So yeah, definitely a good deal there. I believe he left Everton for about 50 million, maybe 45 million, something like that. Next one is Ben White, a very expensive transfer to Arsenal. Obviously, still a recent transfer, but I think it definitely has worked out for Ben White. He has done incredible at Arsenal, playing at right back. Really good player, really good transfer. And, yeah, I do actually feel like Ben White has done really well. You know, obviously went on loan to Leeds from Brighton, done really well there. And obviously went back to Brighton, played consistently in the Premier League. And then went on to move to Arsenal for, I believe, around about 50, 60 million. So, yeah, a great deal right there for... Ben White. Okay, next one I'm going to go is Gareth Bale. Definitely worked out for Ben, though. Bale was fantastic at Spurs, but moved to Real Madrid. Unfortunately, at the end of his career at Real Madrid, obviously went horrifically. Did actually go back to Spurs on loan, then went back to Madrid, then kind of stopped there and retired. Yeah, it's a massive shame about Bale that he hasn't really done anything since after Real Madrid. Obviously retiring, and it's a massive shame that. However, you still can't deny, though, his success with Real Madrid. Obviously, Champions League winner. Probably had one of the best Champions League final performances of any player against Liverpool with that overhead kick. Oh, sensational stuff right there from Gareth Bale. Definitely one of the best wingers to play in football, I do think. UK as well, one of the best ever UK-based players. Definitely transfers worked out for him. Obviously, Real Madrid paying a very hefty fee, I believe 90-odd million for Gareth Bale from Spurs. Definitely worked out for him, though. Multiple La Liga titles, you know, multiple Champions Leagues. Yeah, there's multiple Copa del Reys or whatever they call it. So, yeah, transfer that's definitely worked out for him. Next one is Coutinho. Not worked out for Coutinho. For Liverpool, it has. The amount of money they spent, and obviously bringing in a lot of fantastic talents with that money. You know, the likes of Alisson, you know, Van Dijk. Because I believe he sold for around about 150 million. I believe, I don't know if I'm right with this, the most expensive Premier League sale, I think Coutinho is. So, yeah, great deal right there for Liverpool to get that money. Obviously, I do think Liverpool probably did miss Coutinho a little bit, and I know he was a massive fan favourite. But, yeah, I felt it probably was the right decision from Liverpool to sell Coutinho, and he went to Barcelona, didn't cut it at Barcelona, then went on loan to Bayern Munich. Was actually okay, Bayern Munich, but still didn't cut it, and now at Aston Villa, which he probably isn't even cutting it there anymore, to be honest with you. So, yeah, not really worked out for him. Harry Maguire, not worked out for Harry Maguire either at Manchester United. I do feel like there's been moments where Harry Maguire where he's had the odd game where he's played fairly alright, but I do think that he hasn't been as consistent for the money that they have spent on him. I believe it was 80-odd million is a hell of a lot of money. I'm trying to take into account, you know, not just player performances, the money based on the performances. 80 million was a lot of money. Let's say if Man United spent, like, I don't know, 40 million Harry Maguire, I would maybe put him in the 50-50. But he's done all right for England. He still has had a relatively successful career. You know, still signing at Manchester, obviously playing for England still. You know, consistently. I do like Harry Maguire. I think he's a very good defender, but Man United level, and he hasn't really played much since. Obviously, signing Varane and Sandro Martinez, Man United, I think that just shows you Harry Maguire's future at Man United is in doubt. Next one is Lukaku. Right, unpopular opinion. Lukaku, obviously, you know, leaving Man United. Obviously, for it, I believe they sold into, who was it? Inter Milan, I think. But then again, you could argue, you know, other ways like signing from Everton to Man United and then sending Man United to Inter, and then obviously Inter Milan selling him to Chelsea. So I guess we've got quite a few things to rank Lukaku on. I'm at Lukaku in the video 50 because wherever he's gone, he still has scored. You know, like he still has scored a decent amount of goals when he was at Chelsea and Man United. I think the money they spent, obviously they haven't got the worth, and I think Lukaku, you know, off the pitch hasn't always had the best attitude, but he always has scored goals, so that's why I'm putting the 50-50. Luis Suarez. I'm going to put, honestly, he's got to go in the worked out. Liverpool miss him, but what a sensational career he has had at Barcelona. Honestly, sensational. You know, Champions League winner, La Liga winner, La Liga Cup winner, you know, playing in the World Cup still. One of the best strikers, you know, probably one of the best strikers of all time, Luis Suarez. Prime Barcelona, playing with potentially the best front three ever in MSN. You know, Messi, Suarez and Neymar. It definitely worked out for him, let's be honest. Mane, another transfer that's massively worked out for him. Sadio Mane, we all know how good he has been at, you know, Liverpool. Sorry about that, people. Right, yeah, massively worked out for him at Liverpool. Sadio Mane, fantastic player. Southampton got a good amount of money for him as well, but Sadio Mane, what a player as well. Champions League winner, Premier League winner, you know, Cup winner. You know, he's had a sensational career, Sadio Mane, and obviously now at Bayern Munich in real life. What an achievement, Sadio Mane. You know, to be where he is at still today, you know, playing in the top leagues in the world, and definitely one of the most underrated Premier League wingers of all time. Next one is Ronaldo. Worked out for Ronaldo, despite he obviously won Champions League with Man United, Premier League with Man United, Carabao Cup, FA Cup Man United, but Real Madrid, you know, is probably where he was most successful with, you know, multiple Champions League. How many Champions Leagues did he win at Real Madrid? 6, 5? You know, a sensational achievement for Cristiano Ronaldo, and I felt that was a win-win for both clubs. Obviously, Man United got a ton of cash for Ronaldo, however, they did lose one of their best players, and obviously, you know, Real Madrid obviously spent a lot of money, and they got goals from a player which is nicknamed the GOAT, one of the GOATs. What an achievement there for Ronaldo. Next one, Jack Grealish. I think definitely, honestly, if we'd done this about, I don't know, let's say about 5 months ago, I would have probably put him in the 50-50 category. But for me now, he has really started to excel at Man City, and obviously already won the Premier League, you know. Obviously now in a Champions League final. Will City win the Champions League? Oh, right. But yeah, what a sign, Jack Grealish. Obviously, he's still a little bit of a way off the 100 million category, but I think it has worked out. Eden Hazard, not worked out. How on earth can you debate Eden Hazard working out the sale from Chelsea to Real Madrid? It has not worked out whatsoever. I feel so bad for him because he was one of the best Premier League wingers, if not the best Premier League winger in the history of football. You know, along with Mohamed Salah. You know, what a player Eden Hazard is, and it's a shame that it didn't work out. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed this video on the channel, make sure to drop a like, subscribe. Hopefully you guys will have a great rest of your day. Take care, people. See you all soon. Much love, everybody. Have a great day.